What's good? It's your boy Trail Street Sage coming to you live from the void. Doing this thing again. This is my first time making a real podcast twice because I fucked up the first one. I recorded all the audio and did not get the video because I'm slow like that. But I'm quicker now because the joint is lit and I'm on my shit. So, episode number 1. I felt like it would be most pertinent, most obviously understandable that I begin the podcast by explaining how the podcast came to be. I feel like that type of shit is important. How we get here? Why am I listening to you? Why am I looking at you? Who the fuck are you? Let me explain. Backstory. Let's start there. There's a woman. Beautiful woman. She's a dancer. Exotic dancer. She's a drug trafficker. She's a gangster. Woman gets pregnant. She's thinking of getting an abortion. She's sure she should get an abortion. Woman goes to work. One of her regulars, this biker, he hears about the woman's problem. The woman's calling me right now. Hold on. Ma, I gotta call you back. I'm making my podcast.
You home?
Yeah, I'm at home.
I'm gonna stop by and see you.
All right, bet.
Bye.
Yeah. That's the woman. So, this woman, her regular, Big Al comes in, biker, tells her, you shouldn't have an abortion. I want that baby too. So if you have that baby, I'll raise him like you're mine. Woman believes him, has the baby. Here I am. That was a good backstory, right? That shit was fire. That shit was lit. Fuck it. Anyway, nah, but dead ass. Mama was a street legend. But that's where it started for me. So I was born into that, but she was done with all that, wanted to be something better, and started chasing her psychology degree. Took 12, 13 years. So for my child rearing years, I was being raised by a woman who went from, I don't know how to put it, bro. She put it best, from crack to Christ, because she went from drug dealer to drug user to drug addict to what she is now, bro. Like this therapeutic, all natural, homegrown force for good, bro. Like she spent 20 years doing trauma therapy, men and women. I used to go to NA meetings with her, AA meetings with her. I remember all that shit from when I was a jit, bro. Like, I met some good people up in there, some good dudes, and some friends, some other kids. NA was wild, bro. They think them kids don't understand them stories in NA. We do. Y'all are fucking nasty. Anyway, yeah, bro, like my mother went from crack to Christ during my child rearing years, so I didn't have no normal childhood. Like I played outside with all the other kids and shit, but I wasn't taught things like I wasn't taught the regular shit y'all was taught. I wasn't taught about fighting. I wasn't taught about telling. I wasn't taught those types of lessons. I was taught the real things about the brain and how people respond and react to situations as a child, bro. Like I was 9, 10 years old, and my mom is explaining concepts to me like the value of trust and what happens with broken hearts and trauma and its effects on people, and how to identify when you're dealing with a traumatized person, bro. Like this is how I was raised. You feel me? This is not what I was taught as a young adult or as in my teen years. This is what I learned in my core, like growing up. This is what's normal for me, is to dissect people mentally. That's normal for me, bro. Like that's, anyway. So fast forward maybe 10, 15 years later, I'm out of my childhood, I'm into my adult years, and I'm trying to do all the same things that my peers are doing, and my niggas and the people I'm hanging with and the girls I be fucking with. I'm trying to enjoy all these same things that they like to do, and I can't because I understand the psychology behind these things, and I understand their mental effects, and I understand the trauma, and I understand the fires that are being put. Like, I just knew too much to really get comfortable around people I wanted to be like and be around. Like, to this day, bro, I don't like being in clubs. I work in them, I shoot in them. I don't like being in the club because I can look in every person and see what you're going through. It's depressing, bruh. Like, I'm not bashing nobody that be in the club, because I remember when I used to have a good time there, it was an escape. It's where I went when the rest of my life was like overwhelming and I wanted to just sweat, shake, shot some shit off. Now when I go in there, bruh, it's like I'm reading these little short stories in y'all niggas' eyes about what you're going through while you're here. That's just not fun no more. That's the type of person I am. That's literally who I am as a person, bro. When I go out and I go to Starbucks, if you look me in my eye, this is what I'm looking for. What's wrong with you? Who hurt you? Where's that pain coming from? Because that's what I see. That's how I was raised. I was raised to recognize trauma and pain, because my mother was learning how to do that as a psychologist. So, weird little kid. I'll give you that. However, still charming as fuck, still intelligent as hell, can have a great conversation. This is as a child, 9, 10 years old. My daughter's just like me, if you know her. My firstborn. But like, I'm still all those things that make a kid look like a normal kid. So I'm still in all those places where you would put normal kids. When you introduce a baby to the psychological inner workings of the mind, what type of person do you think that creates? Because I think I'm pretty fucked up, to be honest. I think I'm very gifted. I think I'm very gifted, but I think I'm very fucked up. Yeah, raised by a psychologist in the hood until young adult age. Then we moved out, started growing up, getting up to the east side, if you will. Then I got around white people, and by this time, my nigga, I'm a good 9, 10 years old. I'm like strictly around white people. Like, this is an all-white school almost. But like I said, my mother's an aspiring psychologist. So I know how to have an intellectual conversation. I know how to sound like I know. I know how to sound like I read. You feel me? So I'm impressing all these white people. All these white people who just assume that black people who come from where I come from are just animals. They're flabbergasted at this little black boy who knows all these great words and has all these great ideas. You feel me? They're stunned. Fast forward another few years. 13, I wrote a book, poetry. It was a culmination of poems that I had written through the previous years from before. But it was enough to a point where my mother, we self-published, took me on a little book tour in the South. We went on a little book tour. Georgia, Florida, like some just places. 500 copies, sold all of them. But throughout this tour, on these trips, I would meet these men, these grown-ass men, 40, 50 years old, who would tell me that my 13-year-old hand wrote words on paper that challenged their 50-year-old minds and saved their 20-year relationships. Like these adults, as you would call them, were learning things from this child, as they call me, that had evaded them for more years than I had been alive. I'm 13, I'm 14. So fast forward now, bro, I'm weird, my nigga. Like, I don't make sense. I do what the fuck I want to do, and somehow that shit works for me. I can try to explain it. We can go through it together. Let's try. I'm not gonna have another 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life. I haven't had one for a while. It's not because I'm rich. It's not because I'm balling. It's because I made a choice. I made a conscious decision within myself that I can no longer work for an established system and properly function as me, as Trail, as the person that the people who know me know and love. I can't be that person and still work a 9 to 5. They don't go together. I can't do that. I've tried it many, many times. This is experience I have in my life. So you can't really challenge that or convince me otherwise. You feel me? I'm intentional in the fact that I wear things that I not only know most people would not wear, but I also appreciate in its nostalgic value. This is like my favorite hoodie, bro, and the hoodie don't even fit me. The hood part, this shit, tiny, don't fit me. But this is my shit, bro. Good Vegeta sweater, good Rick and Morty hat, good Rick and Morty socks with Banana Rick, you feel me? In order to cross realms, bro, in order to cross age boundaries, in order to be relatable through generations, let's look at some examples. Brands, who's fuck? Oh, perfect example, my nigga. Donald Trump. Donald Trump just used Lil Pump as an endorsement prop at his last rally, right? The nigga had Lil Pump get on stage and do his whole MAGA dance thing. But look at the cross-generational reference that I'm talking about here, bro. In order to be relatable across generations, you have to connect a 13-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 63-year-old. You have to connect those 3 age groups. How? You can't do it with anything physical or tangible because they operate in 3 different realms. It can't be music. They listen to 3 different kinds. It can't be anything physical. You feel me? So you got to go into the mental. This is why I told you I was raised by a psychologist. This is how this shit works. You got to go into the mental. You go into the mental, right? What is the most connective force we can experience as people? No, it's not love. It's pain. Pain is the most relatable human experience that has been recorded to date. Trauma, specifically. But pain itself as a whole is the most common thread that we share. That is what my mama raised me to be able to recognize and translate. That's why most people relate to me and the things that I say. That's why half of y'all who watch my videos on my page or see these lessons that I be talking about, like you'll notice that the examples that I use often involve, first of all, they come in 3s, but they often involve something that hurts, some type of pain, some type of struggle, some type of hardship, you feel me? Because you gotta go through that to grow. There's no such thing as growth without struggle. There's no get rich quick. There's none of that. So having finally accepted that shit, my nigga, like I felt like I was uniquely conditioned and raised to be able to show people the things that they can't see, because the same way that those things aren't supposed to exist, I'm not supposed to exist. I'm not supposed to be real. A type of person like me that can do the things that I do with the type of perspective that I have should not functionally exist, but it does. And because of that, there are things that I can see that most people can't, that I can translate into a language that most people can understand. And I can change that language based off whatever group I'm talking to, demographic or otherwise. I can take a subject like accountability, something that literally, if accepted by every person, could change the world. I can take a subject like that and make it so easy to understand, bro. I can kind of help mend the divisive rift between black people. That's a specific goal of mine, because I believe that half of the divisive shit I see online, bro, niggas argue for bullshit. Niggas argue for the wrong reasons and the wrong things, bro. But it comes from a spirit. I'm not doing that Christian thing right now. It comes from an actual existing energy. That's why I say a spirit. And it's a spirit of competitiveness. It's a spirit of aggression. It's something that really exists in people, bro. It's real. And we need to acknowledge it, that it's real. But the way that it's been turned on us by people who know it, people who know what it is, the way that they've turned it against us, bro, it would really make you sick. Once you're able to see, you take a people who are natural fighters. They're natural warriors, not physically, but in nature, like in their mindset and their thinking and their willpower and their determination and their reproduction and their value. Like, they are a warrior people. It doesn't take much to get them riled up. It doesn't take much to get black people turned up, bruh. Nor does it take much to get us turned on each other. Why? Because the secret stuff, the stuff that I was taught to see that most people can't, has been devalued to the point where if you practice it, you're no longer welcome in the majority. So it's not about what's right no more, it's about what everybody's doing. So, accountability, for example. If the common mindset was to say, whenever something happened, whenever you got into an argument or a disagreement or niggas got mad or whatever, if the common practice was for niggas to stop for a second and be like, you know what? Why the fuck am I here? What did I do to get myself here? This ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. This has nothing to do with the person I'm mad at. This has nothing to do with the audience around. How the fuck did I get my 2 feet right here? That's accountability, bro. That's how I learned it. I got tired of letting other people feel like they had enough power to say where I was at any given time. That's how I learned accountability, through pride. You're not about to fucking tell me that you're the reason I'm doing nothing. So let me figure this out. Why am I here? What did I do? What did I say? What did I think? Where did I go that got me here? That's a practice for accountability. Pliable minds, malleable, workable. I want to go a little more in depth on this Hell You Talking About series, because I think that's the public draw for this shit. That's what got everybody here. That's what's gonna get everybody to looking at this shit. Is that them Hell You Talking About videos? I was honestly touching on that just now. That's the same spirit. Hell You Talking About came from me hearing other people tell me their beliefs, their opinions, but to try and force them down my throat like fact. To try and force them in my heart like gospel. It confuses me thusly that you would want somebody to take anything from you like that. I've been seeing so many arguments online, bruh, and I've been participating in so many arguments online about voting. I'm really starting to not like people I've known for years. Had no problem with before. But motherfuckers will get online and tell people that they're trash or call them all kind of shit for not voting or not wanting to vote. That alone, bro, like, I'm not gonna get into that actual aspect. I'm just using it as an example. That, to me, is an indicator, bro, that everybody is out of line. Everybody is out of line. This is not no men versus women, black versus white. This is entitlement at its finest, bruh. People in general are out of fucking order. How dare you try and take your own personal belief, bro, your own feeling, your own emotion, something that you in your heart hold dear, and chastise someone else for not sharing it. Condemn someone else for not feeling the same as you, bro. Like, nobody is stopping to actually think about the things that they're doing and saying. Everybody's just doing shit. Like, the absence of thought is so prevalent these days, bro. It's angering to me personally that it's so obvious nobody's thinking. Nobody's doing anything that exercises their brain. And because of that, when it comes time to communicate, it reflects.